Welcome to the new crafting guide. This time I will show you how to craft the belt with double influence for Essence Drain, Bane, Soulrend and similar builds. First, here's some basic information for crafting items with double influence. Let's use a belt as an example. You have normal belts without influence and you have belts with influence. Those are Shaper, Elder, Crusader, Redeemer, Hunter and Warlord. To make items with double influence, we use Awakener's orb. Awakener's orbs are spent by right-clicking the orb, left-clicking on a donor item, and then left-clicking a target item. I like to call the target item a master. A master item's base type, item level, sockets, and links are retained. The two items we combine must be of the same item type with different influences. This means we can combine two belts, but not one belt and let's say one amulet. If we wish to craft amulet with double influence, we need to combine two amulets. Also important, we can use two belts with different bases. The result will always retain the base and item level of the master belt. The resulting belt will be rare. We'll have two influence mods, one from each belt, with restriction the mods cannot be from the same mod group. The rest of the mods on the belt will be random. Here is one example. Let's say we want to combine Shaper and Elder belt. From Shaper belt we want to get in tier 1 for increased elemental damage, and from Elder belt we want to get tier 1 for increased maximum life. In that case we need to use Shaper belt with just one Shaper mod, which is tier 1 for increased elemental damage, and the second Elder belt need to have only one Elder mod, increase maximum life. Those belts can have any normal mods. And the resulting belt, when we combine those two belts, will have tier 1 for increased elemental damage, tier 1 for increased maximum life, and the rest of the mods will be random. And the base and type item level will be from the master belt. Now here is an example for restriction. Let's say you want increased spell damage from Shaper and you really like that mod and want to combine with Crusader increased spell damage. You can see that Crusader increased spell damage during any flask effect belongs to mod group damage during flask effect. And if you look on Shaper mod, spell damage during any flask effect, you can see that he belongs to the same mod group. Meaning, if you combine those two belts, you can get only one mod. Your resulting belt will not be able to have both mods. And maybe even better example is, let's say, for rings. If you maybe try to combine Hunter ring with curse enemies with level 8 despair on hit with Redeemer belt and get another curse enemies with level 8 frostbite on hit, that is also not possible because both mods belong to the same mod group, curse on hit level. So that is example for restrictions. For this crafting guide, I tried crafting a good belt with a double influence for my Bane plus Essence Drain low life build. I used Crusader belt with tier 1 for increased energy shield and Shaper belt with tier 1 for increased energy shield from body armor. For my first crafting, my master belt was Stygian Vice. I paid 2 chaos for a normal Stygian Vice item level 85. Then I used Crusader Exalted Orb on that belt. So now I had a Crusader Stygian Vice belt and use around 200 alterations to get tier 1 increased energy shield. Next I got Shaper belt with tier 1 for increased energy shield from body armor. Instead of buying some random Shaper belt minimum item level 80 and then use alterations to get this mod, I found one on trade with this mod as only Shaper mod, paid only 10 chaos and saved time and probably currency. Now all I had to do is to use Awakener's orb. As you can see, I had tier 1 for increased energy shield and tier 1 for increased energy shield for body armor, but I missed third prefix and got life instead of energy shield. Now I can try to sell it like this or use Scouring Orb and start crafting from scratch. Only now, because this is a belt with double influence, I can get both Crusader and Shaper mods. For my next crafting, instead of Stygian Wise, for my master belt I use Crusader Crystal Belt item level 85. This time I hit energy shield as third prefix, but it was low tier and it was not good. I had to start crafting from scratch. First I tried using just dense fossils, without luck to get anything good. Next I used dense and enteric fossils, and finally I used dense, corroded and shuddering, and this was the best result I got. If you have any questions about this crafting, you can leave them in comments or send me a message inside the game. This will be all for now. Thanks for watching and see you next time.